All right. Sachin, please introduce yourself briefly.
So my name is Dr. Sachin. I come from Kodiyal village of Haveri district from Karnataka. Have done my graduation in medical science from JJ Medical College. Amongst other interests, I am enthusiastic about implementing artificial intelligence in healthcare, and I volunteer at Ramakrishna Vivekananda Ashram, and I do sing Bhava Gita, sir.
When did you finish your MBBS?
It was September 2019, sir.
2019.
Right.
And have you begun to practice after that, or?
During COVID time, I did volunteer at Step 1 organization, sir. But I haven't taken any formal employment after that. I was into full-time preparation for UPSC.
If you had to prepare for the UPSC civil services, would it not have been better to take some other program for education? Like political science, economics, history, or something of... how are you going to be basically, how do you justify spending 5 years in doing MBBS, which is an expensive program,
Right,
and somebody must spend the money on this, and then coming into the civil services?
Sir, I believe that the expertise that we learn as a specialist doctors...
No,
Right, sir.
that is not the point here.
Right, sir.
We know knowledge actually means some knowledge. So that is not the point here.
Right, sir.
But what is more relevant to the civil services?
For civil service, definitely the humanities would have been more relevant, having a background in, as you were mentioning, PSIR or history or geography, because of the overlap of the subjects. But I think as the exam is designed, it is free. It allows every graduate from every stream. So I think it doesn't take away the resource from the medical stream per se, because at the end of the day, it is coming back to serve the public.
Okay. Let us go to the other areas now. Artificial intelligence.
Yes, sir.
In healthcare, can you just explain briefly how you use the artificial intelligence in healthcare?
Sir, artificial intelligence has been used across the spectrum of medical healthcare system. For example, recently, even the 2020...
How did you use AI
Right,
in
sir.
healthcare?
Sir, I have been associated with my professor, Dr. Balu, sir, and we have used artificial intelligence in the to detect TB cases, sir, at the remote villages, using artificial intelligence to have a better diagnosis rather than through chest X-rays.
How does artificial intelligence, and please be brief and sharp, concise,
Right.
how does artificial intelligence help in diagnostics?
Right, sir. Sir, basically, artificial intelligence is able to pick on the minute points which are even difficult for a doctor to detect. For example, there is this company called AIAS sir. It is able to detect cardiac murmurs in school children, which is difficult for a specialist to detect from using a stethoscope. So it is being done by AI. And also, sir, AI has been used to discover drugs, protein structure. For example, we got a DeepMind founder called Demis Hassabis. He got a Nobel for finding out the structure of proteins and also synthesizing them, which can be used in vaccines and hormones, hormonal therapy and enzyme therapy and so on. So,
You haven't answered my question.
Right.
How did you use artificial? Now, I can understand AI being used in making vaccines. You didn't make vaccines.
Right, sir.
You used vaccines.
Yes, sir.
I'm asking you, how did you use AI? You didn't answer this question at all.
So for example, it is in the nascent stage. So we have used a couple of things. One is portable camera with fundus examination, which we use to detect retinal complications in the patients, which would otherwise have required ophthalmologists to be present in the villages level. So, but here, even a medical graduate without ophthalmology specialization.
Did you do it?
Yes, sir. We have done that fundus.
All right. How would you use artificial intelligence in administration? In administration.
Administration, sir.
At the village level, let us say. Or let us say the district level.
Okay, sir. Sir, I definitely see a lot of opportunities in governance, the implementation of artificial intelligence. For example, sir, if we take schemes like PM Awas Yojana, if we have artificial intelligence at our disposal, we can use it to predict the poverty clusters going by the data, because AI is good at predictive analysis. Sir. So we can detect such poverty clusters and we can target the beneficiaries better. than any other things. And also artificial intelligence can be used to make, personalize the public service delivery. So, for example, it can interact at individual level rather than just a generic mass scale level. We can connect to people individually through artificial intelligence.
Okay, last question.
Yes, sir.
You know where Ukraine is. You have heard about the Ukraine war.
Yes, sir.
Just tell me, in the Ukraine war, the ceasefire, 30-day ceasefire has been announced.
Right, sir.
Who should take the credit for the ceasefire? Russia, Ukraine, that is Zelensky,
Right, sir.
Putin, Trump, Prime Minister Narendra Modi,
Right, sir.
Jaishankar, who?
Right, sir. Sir, I think any peace deal will happen only with compromises from different leaders. And in these cases, there have been compromises by various leaders. But if we have to categorically consider a leader, I would say US President can be given credit for bringing in the peace.
Why?
Sir, because he was very affirmative in making sure that both parties come at the table, have those negotiations and arrive at the peace deal, which was not attempted by any of the previous leaders, even American leaders. And he has used all his diplomatic and economic tools to make the negotiation possible, sir.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
वीडियो में आगे बढ़ने से पहले यूपीएससी का रिजल्ट आ चुका है। अनअकैडमी की तरफ से सभी यूपीएससी एस्पिरेंट्स को हार्दिक बधाइयां और इस खास दिन को सेलिब्रेट करने के लिए हम लाए हैं अब तक का सबसे बड़ा ऑफर। प्रीलिम्स 2026 की तैयारी सिर्फ 19,999 में और साथ ही मिलेगा 12 महीने तक का फ्री एक्सटेंशन भी। इंडिया के टॉप एजुकेटर्स और बेस्ट कंटेंट के साथ ये है अब तक का लोएस्ट प्राइस। तो देर किस बात की, आज ही एनरोल करें। आईएएस बनने का पहला कदम आज से। लिंक डिस्क्रिप्शन में है। एनरोल नाउ।
Okay, Dr. Sachin, you seem to have a great interest in artificial intelligence.
Right, sir.
You know what is Internet of Things?
Internet of Things, yes, sir.
What is the difference, basic fundamental difference between Internet of Things and artificial intelligence?
Sir, artificial intelligence is a technology where machine is able to mimic human intelligence and able to learn, understand and operate. Whereas Internet of Things is a collective network of machines. Basically, they are digitized so that they can operate operate in synergy, sir. For example, we use Internet of Things in our daily homes.
Yeah, automation and
right, sir.
There is no automatic learning.
Right, sir. It's
Unlike
not,
in
adaptive
artificial.
learning is not available in IoT.
That is the main reason why Yuval Hariri, have you heard of his name?
Yes, sir.
He is dead against artificial intelligence because the learning process which is built into machine learning or whatever learning, the end result or the next result will lead to something desirable or undesirable is not guaranteed in artificial intelligence. I don't know. Do you agree with that? Because it goes on learning.
True, sir. True.
Without your command or any software.
Right,
so it
sir.
can learn something which can be dangerous or in a direction you don't want it to go. His basic argument.
Definitely, sir. Even I have read his book Nexus.
Right.
Where he argues that artificial intelligence suffers from a phenomenon called black box, like where we are not able to understand how it arrives at its decision. And because he says that because of that we are not able to come up with safeguarding mechanisms against all such negative outcomes, sir.
Right. So there are no safeguards, but is the West or America or any other country thinking of some safeguards?
Definitely, sir. There has been global collaboration happening. For example, recently we had AI Action Summit, and before that we had AI Safety Summit. So all these global cooperation groupings are trying to come up with
regulation, international regulation or
even
global.
European Union has GDPR principles too.
Okay, good. Let's move on to what do you think? Pakistan is our neighbor. We can't change our neighbor, but we are not doing any dialogue. And the reason being that as long as they persist with terrorism, there will be no dialogue.
Right.
Now, is this a solution which can be long term and it is good for us to do like that, or there is a need to change our stance?
Sir, India has, in the initial days, has taken every step to have that engagement with Pakistan. For example, we even offered them the MFN status or even tried to restart our trade and all. But Pakistan has used all such opportunity to backstab on India, if I can use that term, and it has shown the state-sponsored terrorism. So,
Do you have a reason as why they do that to India? What is it that they get out of that?
sir, I think fundamentally they have this policy of bleeding India with multiple cuts.
Okay, so that cannot be easily explained.
Yes, sir.
All right, we leave it at that. Last question. What is the future of NATO?
Sir, regarding future of NATO, I see that the European countries will definitely need to increase their expenditure, and I think it will be more on a transactional basis. The cooperation between the countries will happen rather than America taking the lead and giving that collective security assurance. I think even each individual countries will try to increase their own defense expenditure and rely less on NATO per se, sir, to tackle the strategic concerns.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Sachin,
Yes, sir.
you are a doctor
Yes, sir.
and from Karnataka.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let us talk something about Karnataka.
Definitely, sir.
That's good. That shows your confidence. What is the origin of Kaveri in Karnataka?
There's a mountain called Brahmagiri, sir, which is in Coorg. It is considered as origin of Kaveri.
I have been to that place. It's a small stream which is claimed as origin of river Kaveri. What's the mystery?
What is the?
What's the mystery of it?
Sir, I have limited understanding on this, but what they say is, even I have visited the place, and as you were saying, there's a pond which we worship as Talakaveri in Karnataka, and they say it's the origin, but actually there's also a lot of Western Ghat mountains, and also there are a lot of streams which get into river and enlarge the size of the river. So the water accumulates over the
Good. Let us continue about Kaveri.
Yes, sir.
What is the importance of Krishna Raja Sagar Dam?
So the Krishna Raja Sagar Dam is in Karnataka, as in Mysore, and it was constructed by Sir M. Vishvesharaya to cater to the irrigational need and agricultural need in the Kaveri Delta in the Karnataka region, sir. And also very important for hydroelectricity generation, and it plays an immense role in supplying drinking water to Bangalore. So
It also has a important role in Kaveri water dispute between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu.
yes, sir.
What is that?
The dam per se, sir.
There is a water sharing agreement,
Right, sir.
so that water sharing has to be regulated.
Right, sir.
How that happens? This dam has a role in it.
Sir, I have to read about it, sir.
That is the biggest reservoir.
Right, sir.
This is used to regulate water flow into
Tamil Nadu.
Tamil Nadu.
The downstream.
And where is this Mettur dam?
Mettur Dam. Sir,
This is also on Kaveri,
right, sir.
but not in Karnataka.
Yes, sir. It's at the border between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. A place called Mekedatu, sir. And it is being proposed by Karnataka to construct newer dam at Mekedatu, saying that it can help us regulate water during flood times and have better regulation of water. But it is being opposed by Tamil Nadu state, sir.
Okay. So Mettur is used for regulating what? Water flow downstream.
Sir, sorry if I can.
Take it, fine.
Right, because.
I will not go further deep in it.
Right,
You
sir.
may not be knowing.
Right, sir.
You mentioned Coorg.
Yes, sir.
Coorg is famous for rainforests.
Yes, sir.
What is the idea of rainforest? Like when you go to Himalaya, so you will hear of conifers,
Right, sir.
pine forests.
Right, sir.
When you go to Coorg, the most lauded thing is why you go to Coorg? To see and enjoy rainforests.
Right, sir.
What is this idea of rainforests?
So the idea of rainforest is there the trees won't lose leaves in any specific season, sir. And there is and even the rainfall is almost throughout the year, considering it comes in the tropical region. And even we have a very lush greenery and various kind of species, flora and fauna in that vegetation. So.
But there is some sensitivity attached with the rainforest. What is that?
Sir, one thing I can think of is the Naxalite belt that is there in the...
We are talking of, you can say, forest only.
Right, sir. With respect to the forest, the thing is the soil fertility is poorer in rainforest, sir, because there is no sufficient sunlight for humus to happen. So the soil, the humus content in the soil is poorer.
Something more? Rainforests sustain a very, very complex ecosystem. And once destroyed, regeneration of a rainforest is not possible. So you will find huge grasslands amid dense rainforest. So you would be wondering, dense forest all around and there is a grassland in between.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll read about it, sir.
That's interesting because you come from that area and as such you have very good understanding. I was not expecting that much from you.
Right, sir.
I am very happy that you know a lot. Please, General sir, you can.
Sachin,
Right, sir.
Sachin Tendulkar was given Bharat Ratna
Yes, sir.
and he continued to advertise very, very small products. That is not the image of a Bharat Ratna that we have. Should a person who's awarded Bharat Ratna be doing this?
Sir, first of all, I don't think there is any legal ban on advertising per se. And if you ask think about it in the ethical perspective, Sachin Tendulkar has been affirmative in choosing the advertisement that he wants to do, because he was even offered to advertise for a drink or a smoking company, which he negated, sir. So he stood on his ground and he is advertising only those products which are ethically right.
So right now we are not talking of ethical product.
Yes,
we are
sir.
talking of having been raised to that pedestal of Bharat Ratna.
Yes, sir.
To me, it doesn't look good. I don't want to see a Bharat Ratna, running around here and there for a small product. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Okay. Question related to what Chairman asked you in a different sense. Since you did your medicine in 2019,
Yes, sir.
we are in 2025.
Right, sir.
India is short of doctors.
Yes, sir.
In 6 years, we have lost the services of one doctor because he wanted to join civil services. Your comment.
Sir, I have worked, as I was mentioning to sir,
But during COVID something.
During
yeah.
COVID, I did volunteer,
Yeah.
and I have been involved in whatever capacity I was offered, even at Ramakrishna Vivekananda Ashram. Like we conducted medical camps and blood donation drives and all. So I was involved in such capacities, sir. And I do firmly believe that whatever seems like a wastage now won't be that, because I will definitely work towards giving back to the society in the near coming times, sir.
Okay. What is the origin of India-Pakistan-Kashmir dispute?
Sir, the origin is regarding the Radcliffe line that was drawn between India and Pakistan, and which was hastily drawn by external country between the nations, sir. I think this is the...
Not quite, but please read about that.
Okay, sir.
Then, in relation to that, only there was a UN resolution on Kashmir when India and Pakistan, war was there. What were the terms of those UN resolution? Have you read about it?
Sorry, sir. Have to.
Okay, please read
this.
about that.
Right, sir.
Now, there is a Norway doctor. He's written a book called Organized Crimes and Deadly Medicine. Okay. And he's saying that in Norway there are 20,000 doctors, and every man who's associated with health is on somebody's payroll. He's written that book and his life has been threatened in different ways. But he had the courage to write this. The similar kind of perception today exists that the hospitals have become corporate houses. Your view?
Sir, I do agree that commercialization of medicine has been an emerging concern, because even we see that doctors are only 27% of doctors are practicing in rural areas, and majority of them are practicing in urban centers, and especially under such corporate system. And sir, I definitely and also with regarding to the nexus that you are referring to, there has been cases. There was a study done by Stanford University, sir, where they said that if you offer a doctor a meal, there is a higher rate of he prescribing that drug. So such studies are scientifically proven also. So there is it is a legitimate claim. But as a government, I think we can regulate that better, sir. We have a law for that, like Clinical Endowments Act. If we can regulate them, enforce the price regulations better, I think that's the way ahead, sir.
Okay, there's a lot of debate about freebies and all, and a lot of freebies plus, direct transfer into account. And they say that this is being done because it will improve or encourage consumption and it will drive economy. Can you evaluate the impact of freebies plus direct transfer to accounts and how it has affected your state's economy?
Right, sir. Especially Karnataka government has come up with 5 schemes providing freebie or direct benefit transfer to women, youth, and so on. So. And regarding that, Karnataka government in the recent budget also indicated that there has been increase in the tax revenues, and the consumption has increased, and even the participation of women in the labor force has increased, and it has eased the mobilization of women from rural areas to urban areas for various purposes, be it academics or employment opportunities and so on. And so in that sense, I believe that freebies given for human resource development can be considered, and whereas freebies without any which are just plain money transfer without any ideological support behind it should be regulated. So,
and I guess, do you think most of the freebies are given which are not really upskilling people? This is just cash being given, most of it. And okay, Supreme Court had said that freebies is creating a society of parasites in India.
yes, sir.
They'll always be looking for somebody else to survive.
Right, sir.
The same thing, Vice President Mr. Dhankar said something speaking somewhere. So people in big positions and court-wise people, they have said this, all governments continue to do this. So somewhere, public and taxpayer has to come in and demand accountability from government. How can that happen?
Sir, I think the public has to come up, but we have seen that the relation between a political party announcing a freebie and its having a higher possibility to win an election. So it shows that there is a public support to such schemes. So to refine that, we need to better aware people regarding the fiscal structure of the state or be it the center. So we need to aware people regarding the opportunity cost that freebies can have. And we also can give them better infrastructural support. For example, if we can invest on long-term projects like health, education, and make them capable rather than dependent on the government, that will prove the point, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Sachin, your formal interview is over. First of all, my usual question. When is your interview scheduled?
7th April, sir.
7th April. So you have around 2 weeks.
Right.
Slightly more than 2 weeks.
15, 16 days.
Yeah. What is your own assessment of the interview today?
Sir, I could have been more clear in expressing my thought, and again, I'm not able to take pause in between, and I'm rushing through to answer that I believe. And sir, and also I have to read on certain areas, like especially the DAP core areas, forest and all.
Okay.
Right.
I think you're fairly well on the mark when you said that your thoughts actually seem to run from one to the other. And you seem to be in a rush to basically get out everything that you have in mind, and you just basically go on And sometimes it becomes a kind of flood of thoughts.
Right, sir.
So, since you have time, you have 2 weeks at your disposal. I suggest that you have enough knowledge. Knowledge or content is not the problem at all, but you need to be selective and you need to be brief and sharp
Right, sir.
in what you are saying. And you do not always have to defend situations.
Okay, sir.
Sometimes the situations are beyond your control. You do not have to explain why you are going from medicine to this thing. It is enough to say that it's an option and that option is available to those who are doing medicine, etc. I've chosen to exercise the option. Because if you really get into explanations, there is no way that you can defend this at all, really, as you've seen. So it's best to keep simple. First of all, hopefully they will not ask it.
Right.
But if they ask it, sir or madam, this was an option given to me in terms of the UPSS, and I'm exercising the option.
But still the choice is at your hand. So why are you exercising that option? Why are you not thinking about
it? It is my option. I'm exercising my option. Either I'm not given the option, so they will not say it.
Okay, sir.
Because then it goes into other debate.
Right, sir.
Okay. So keep it simple. Now, for example, like the use of, and second thing, when a question is asked of you, rather than dilating and going into the whole lot of, it is best to simply focus on the question. I had to repeat 3 times that I'm asking you, how did you use AI?
Right, sir.
You said you used AI in healthcare. So you'll give me the whole theory, you'll give me what others are doing, except what you did.
Right, sir.
And you came to it with great difficulty, really.
Right, sir.
Number 2, really the use of AI in healthcare, with the exception that it is faster, or in administration, it is simply using a computer algorithm, which we have been doing in the past. Niti Aayog has many models where they've used the computer algorithms in terms of compiling and analyzing the data. So that is not AI. AI is in terms of really doing it faster and finding the solutions really, pinpointing the solutions much faster. So I think you need to really read up on those things.
Okay, sir.
Content is very good. You need to be sharper. I suggest to everyone one thing: pick up 5 or 6 different topics from your DAF, from current affairs, and write down, select say 20 questions. Write down your thoughts on those questions in a sharper, clearer manner.
Okay, sir.
And once you begin to organize your thoughts in writing, your mind will begin to work much better.
Okay, sir.
Okay? That's all you need really, is structuring yourself.
Okay.
And number 2, take a pause before you begin to speak. You don't have to simply jump into saying things.
Okay, sir.
Okay? All the best.
Thank you.
Okay, Dr. Sachin,
Yes, sir.
you are very good in your preparations. Excellent. Your knowledge depth is very good. And almost you can muscle up any kind of argument in any direction. So I feel that you need to remain focused on the question and make your answers brief and to the point.
Okay.
Just 2 points is enough, and then you wait for supplementary or whatever they want.
Okay, sir.
I know you have very large number of information or knowledge that you have. We discussed on artificial intelligence, Yuval Harari, and how he is opposed to your discussions earlier with the other panel gives an impression that you are absolutely convinced that artificial intelligence is to be embraced lock, stock and barrel completely. But there are hidden risks and safeguards are important, as you mentioned. So if you can mention that part also whenever you are talking or asking about how artificial intelligence can be useful, you can say it can also incorporate suitable safeguards or something like that, which will give an impression that you are aware and alert to the risk. The risk comes from its innate ability to learn. You know, that
Unsupervised.
is, yes, unsupervised. And that is the risk. That is a risk because the machine learning or whatever is being software is being created, it does give that ability.
Right, sir.
It's very difficult. Anyway, this is an issue that is being discussed. Now, India-Pakistan, you mentioned Pakistan wants to bleed, which is correct, but we can't wish away our neighbor. So there is a other aspect of the point that there is a generally good people-to-people affection, and the regime there, led by the deep state, ISI and the army, which in order to maintain their control of the politics and the state, Pakistan wants to do this in order to justify that without them, Pakistan will collapse.
Right.
See, they haven't been able to get a mature political system, unlike us here.
Right.
So that's a purpose that is well understood. And lastly, about the NATO, you mentioned that the European countries would have to take up on each on their own, decide. But without US, NATO will lose its impact. You know, more than half of the budget and the heavy lifting is done.
Right.
European Union has several structural difficulties, 27 country decision making, 32 members of NATO and 27 European Union. So it was built with the Soviet Union view, 1949, then Russia is now trying to inherit the kind of fear which causes NATO to survive. Without US, it will be difficult. So you need to give a little bit of that also, so that you can be seen that you are familiar.
Right.
You need to be aware of the neighboring countries' relations. You know, the President Trump's policy announcements, very important. Whatever he says is a major decision. Role of United Nations Security Council, declining role or whatever. So all this you will do. You are a medical doctor with a good qualification, and you studied anthropology, so you have very good knowledge, and you should be able to make a good impact. Just slow down a little bit by giving focused answers.
Sure.
All the best to you.
Well, Sachin,
Yes, sir.
a lot of constructive suggestions have come your way. When you are answering, take a pause, think over it. A good opening and good closing. And flow has to be regulated. You have to little bit slow down. What you are answering has to be understood by the panelist. If you are too fast and panelist is, missing something here and there,
Right, sir.
so your efforts will not bear that kind of fruit. Two, Karnataka is a very important state. There are many issues which you need. I just focused on two only. All right.
Right, sir.
So because time is limited, so panelists may start from anywhere.
Right, sir. Right.
When is your interview?
7th April, sir.
17?
7th April.
So you have time. All right. Every day you think of 5 or 6 questions from your state, Karnataka, and give time to understand that.
Okay, sir.
All right. So in next 10 days you would have understood your state quite well. All right.
Okay.
When you are studying your state, also interstate relations, interstate disputes.
Right.
Also look for that. Border dispute, water sharing disputes. Kaveri is a very major river. There are tributaries like Kabini, and there is one more major.
Yes, sir.
I'm not recalling the name. The better understanding you have of your state, most likely some question will come.
Okay, sir.
And there will be some supplementary also.
Okay, sir.
So you should leave a very strong positive impact. I come from Karnataka, I understand Karnataka.
Okay, sir.
I know Karnataka, I understand Karnataka. After all, your top choices are services which will keep you in India most of the time.
Right.
Though you may go on deputation to some embassy, but mostly you will be in India.
Right, sir.
All right? All the best.
Thank you.
Okay, I won't repeat a lot of things I would have suggested myself. You're not aware of the India, Kashmir issue.
Yes, sir.
Please read about that. Also, all the wars that broadly you should know. Broadly, nobody expects you to know the detail. Why 71 war took place, why 65 took place, why 62 took place, that 1987 also we fought in Sri Lanka. So, broad, why it happened, you should know that, okay?
Okay, sir.
And then, since you have little time, whenever you can support your answer with a specific article of the Constitution or a court judgment, that strengthens your argument, right?
Right, sir.
So if you have time, you would have already read this before, you can just brush it up and do that. Otherwise, you're extremely, you're a pleasant person. You express yourself very well. Just try to reduce the, listen to the question and focus on the specifics of the question and try to shorten your answers. Sometimes they tend to get long.
Okay.
Just slow down your speech as someone suggested.
Yes,
you're absolutely wonderful. Shave on that day with a brand new blade and go there with full confidence. You'll do well, okay?
Thank you, sir.
All right.
So if you have to quantify into marks or something like...
No, we have given the assessment.
Right,
We
sir.
don't quantify into the marks really.
Right, sir.
But you will do very well. As we told you, your contents are very, very good. Just a bit, little structuring of your answers and shorten them. Focus.
Okay, sir.
Okay. And the way, if you start writing down, you'll find that you'll be, within 2 days, you'll see the difference.
Right, sir. Right, sir.
Yeah.
Thank
All
you.
the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
All the